If you remember a while back, I made this garden here as an experiment, and I've been putting leaves down, and through time it has become a pretty good soil. It's dark and rich, and the crops are growing. So there's the chili that I put down. You can see that the cucumber, oh, that's a bit stuffed, but the cucumber is ready to be picked and eat. Now these are miniature cucumbers, supposed to be this size. And yeah, so that's all good to go. So that's what I'm going to try to do with the other place, with those garden beds that I'm doing. Basically, just what I've done here is what I need to do over there. That's what I'm trying to achieve by growing my own food. Not too bad. These cows are now trespassing on my property. I have decided to buy this property, and I've just mowed the lawn, and I've cut down some bushes and some trees. If you looked at my other video, the video that I posted the second time round, this was all overgrown. And now I've done a good job of cleaning it up, and we'll be ready to build pretty soon. What I'm doing at the moment, because it's quite low, so water gets stored here, and that's used to be like a fish pond, so just as bad as a fish pond really. So I'm digging a trench. I've dug a trench, and as you can see, it's already working. Water's starting to drain out, and once it drains out, the ground becomes very solid, very hard once it's dried. And I made the trench all the way to the road, to the driveway. So this used to be covered in water. Now it's all clear, and I've got a little bit of work to do just to put a pipe down and some more topsoil there. So we're going to build here. We're going to build a guest house. We could build two, but we'll start off with just one at the moment. If we're going to build another one, it'll be like 2 or 3 years down the track. No rush, as long as we can get some source of income. Now, the owner for this land, there's two owners. They're brothers and sisters. Both of them are not here in this town. They're out somewhere else, about 5-hour drive. So getting the final paperwork done might take a little bit longer than we think. But we've just made a deposit so that we can start preparing and getting things ready to build. And then once the paperwork is done, then we can go ahead and start building. The sooner we can get this guest house finished, the sooner that we can get some income coming in. So the other land that we've got with the bamboos on there, we're going to make that into a farm. Going to be a fruit tree farm, and that's another source of income. So we're going to, that's a long-term goal. It's not going to happen overnight or even a year. It's going to take time for that to build up, but that doesn't cost us barely anything to set up, and it's carefree. You just need to go there and just do some weed here and there, and that's all, some compost here and there. The thing with self-reliance, people get it a little bit wrong. Yeah, you've got your gardening, you've got your growing your own fruit and veggies, your food, having livestock, having, you know, all those kind of things which people say that's self-reliance, but it's also about money as well. I mean, I'm just showing you guys how I'm gonna survive here. One way of surviving here is, you know, to build a guest house and have it rented out. So it's not all just about growing your vegetables and having pigs and chickens. You got to think, how can you create income? And yeah, this is the one of the options that I think will be best for me. I've started to clean up all the toilet around there. We're going to redo that toilet and use it. We're going to have it as an emergency toilet, just in case someone needs to go to the toilet while the other one's being used. These water pots, I'm not quite too sure what to do with them yet. I'm quite interested in getting the little one to the bamboo hut land, but the other two might have to be knocked down and smashed up, because they're just too heavy for us to move. I started making garden boxes out of bricks, and we're putting compost down, dead grass, dead leaves, and whatever we can find around. And we're going to be making quite a few, so every space will be a box. So we'll put some boxes at the front as well. But this area should be good because we get the shade from the house. So in the afternoon it'll be nice and cool, so the plant isn't out in the sun all day. I've already started planting some vegetables. Those look nice and healthy. Of course, not everything's going to be nice and healthy. Some things will die. But it's a start. So yeah. Every space will have a garden box. There'll be a garden box there, a garden box there, and that will go all the way across to the front, and that should give us plenty of gardening space. That is a tamarind tree. It's quite a sweet fruit with a big seed inside. It's like a peanut shaped size there. So we've decided not to plant any fruit trees around our property here. So these two properties, no fruit trees. Because what happened is these fruit trees, they grow up to be quite big. They're very, very tall, very bushy, and it's just going to be too much to handle. That's why we're going to plant it over at the other property where there's lots of space. With the gardening, it's going to take some time to grow everything. It's going to take some time for the soil to be right. So we're not relying too much on being successful in gardening for the first year. But for the next, you know, going forward, we will be trying to get it more better and better. Like I said, the soil needs time to break down and be good for planting. So on the next video, I'll show you how I'm going to set up my fruit tree farm, how we're going to look after it, and what it's going to look like. So stay tuned.